In the Army, you are a soldier 24/7, but there's always time to be yourself.
In this next piece, producer Don Waldman meets a reserve pilot with the colorful life behind the green.
By day, she is a radar lead engineer at Edwards 419th Flight Test Squadron. She is also an Army Reserve Major and a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. And in her spare time, she is a musician, singer, and songwriter, telling the military story one song at a time. Meet Jennifer Householder, who frequently performs at Fresco 2, a Palmdale, California supper club, performing a mix of cover tunes and originals. Miss Householder first came to Edwards in 1999 as an Air Force lieutenant and worked for the 31st Test and Evaluation Squadron and later for the F-22 Combined Test Force. But her desire to fly led her to join the California National Guard.
When I joined the California Guard, I went into a position that required you to be a pilot. And that was really the only reason why I was going to switch over, because I had a good Air Force job. But the reason why I wanted to why I was going to switch is so I could fly.
And when it comes to her music, this Pennsylvania native began her journey when she was a young child, starting out with piano lessons in elementary school.
And then later on, when I got into junior high and high school, I participated in band, played the trumpet, French horn, just kept playing piano, and I didn't really do a lot of singing, other than being a part of a choir for church. Didn't really do anything more than that. I didn't see myself as a singer at all.
But once in college, Miss Householder took up the guitar and began to write her own music, including lyrics.
I write out of what I've experienced, what I am working through, what I'm moved by, what I'm touched by. My hope is that in the things that I write about, that people can identify and at least go, hey, you know, I'm not the only one in the world that feels or is experiencing these things or walking through these difficult things.
During a deployment to the Middle East as an Army helicopter pilot, Jennifer Householder was inspired to write new songs about her experiences, including one that is now available on iTunes and Amazon Music.
My life is bleeding. I'm trying to find.
Stay With Me. That is a song that I started writing about a month and a half before we left Kuwait in 2009. I was on a deployment with the Army. And I just had the music. I had an idea of what I wanted to do with the song. Stay With Me was the pervasive thought in my head for this song. I wanted to communicate the understanding of those that have been deployed. Sometimes it's very hard coming back and reintegrating into life, and it's very stressful on the relationships back home. I really wanted, it was sort of a plea to the folks back home that, you know, I know that when we come back we're not always easy to work with or deal with, but to just stick with us, and so we kind of work through that process.
And where does she hope her writing and music will take her?
It's kind of unfolding. I never imagined that it would be what it is now. If you had asked me 10 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be doing this and that I'd have something out on iTunes. And I don't know that I have it all figured out, but what I do know is that there's something that people are responding to out of the music, and maybe out of the things that I'm writing and that I'm working through. Maybe somehow that can be a help and a positive thing. And so if that's the case, then I just hope that it'll continue on where it needs to go.
These days, Ms. Householder is spending time in a recording studio working on 10 songs for release on an extended play single. More information can be found on her website at www.hous-band.com. Don Waldman, Edwards Air Force Base, California.